Hey, what's up guys, hope you're doing well. Today we've got some bits and bobs to talk about and a look at all of the DLC weapons coming in the They Shall Not Pass DLC for BF1. Just some thoughts on them, are they actually any good, and which ones I think you should pay attention to. Now if you haven't seen it already, the They Shall Not Pass trailer was released. Of course, it's incredible, as are all DICE trailers, and it did show the final map that we haven't seen yet, Verdun Heights. Kinda looks like it's set at night time as well, so I'm wondering if we'll get any more night maps in the future. As well as that, it revealed the release date of the DLC. That's going to be March 14th for premium members, and then 2 weeks later on the 28th, I think, if you want to buy it separately or if you don't have premium. I just want the damn thing to come out now, to be honest, and I know that a lot of the guys who play on console who don't have access to the CTE are really eager to get their hands on this too. Now before we get stuck in today, I have a big giveaway for you. EA contacted me and said, do you want to give away a Battlefield 1 500 gig Xbox One S bundle? Of course I do, why not? And this ties in with the free play days for BF1 that are happening at the moment on PC and Xbox One. If you haven't tried BF1 yet, this weekend, that's March 3rd to March 5th, you can actually play the base game for free on your Origin account on PC and also on Xbox One if you've got Xbox Live Gold membership. So if you didn't buy the game and you want to check it out for the weekend, that option's there for you. There's more info on the link in the description below, and if you want a chance of winning the Xbox One S, then it's a worldwide giveaway that anyone can enter. All you've got to do is leave a comment down below on this video and I'll pick one lucky person at random to win, so good luck. Okay then, guns. Lots of guns. I've unlocked all of the new weapons on the CTE and I wanted to share my thoughts on each one of them one by one. Let's start with Assault and the new automatic carbine, the Lebel 1918. We get access to a factory edition of the gun and no other variants are available. It's got a firing rate of 550 rounds per minute, which is the same as the MP18, but of course less than the Automatico and the Hellriegel. It's also got a low magazine size at 25, the same as the Automatico. This gun is very good and it's super accurate. Its hipfire isn't as great as some of the other weapons, especially the Automatico, but it's manageable at close range. It's the most rifle-like SMG in the game, and when aimed it's got easily controllable accurate fire, but be careful as those 25 bullets in the magazine go pretty fast. Not as fast as the Automatico of course, but they will be gone before you know it. What this has over the Automatico though is that it does more damage. Sure, they've got the same magazine size, but damage can make all of the difference. The question is, would you use this over the Hellriegel or the MP18? Well, the Hellriegel is already very accurate and has way more ammo available at any one time, but the Lebel has an excellent range on it for an SMG. You can burst fire away to your heart's content at what may seem like an unrealistic distance and still get hits that are doing damage. And that's something that the other SMGs don't really have going for them. Oh, and did I also mention that it's got a bipod? It doesn't quite pip the MP18 for me in terms of all-around use, but it's still dastardly fun to use and very effective in the right situation. As well as the Lebel carbine, we also get a new shotgun in the assault class, the Shogun Inertial in factory form. It's a semi-auto shotgun with a 5-round magazine capacity. I love the design first of all. This thing looks fantastic and I personally think it's the most unique looking shotgun in the game. It packs a punch, but much like the Lebel, the hipfire isn't anything to shout about. That was just my experience at least. Don't let the in-game stats fool you. If you've been using the Hunter for a while, don't expect to be getting the same level of hipfire accuracy. It just won't happen. It's an auto shotgun, so it doesn't have the one-shot damage that some of the others have. Often at close range a few shots will be needed unless you get that perfect hit. I have to say that the visuals combined with the sound that it makes though are very satisfying to use, but would I use it over some of the other shotguns? That's a tough one. Who doesn't love the Hunter, and even the M97 Trench has a bit more of a punch to it at close range. I definitely recommend trying this shotgun out though. It's a nice weapon to use, even just to admire it visually. Next we have the new medic offering, which is the RSC 1917. This comes in two variants, factory and optical. The RSC is the most damaging medic rifle in the game, so much so that at medium to close range it can actually kill a player from full health only in 2 shots. Once that distance starts to stretch though, don't expect to be killing so easily, but when you're playing on an infantry based map like say Fort Vaux, this can be a very powerful weapon if used correctly that is. It may be powerful, but it also fires extremely slowly, and you've got to really work on nailing as many of those shots as possible to maximise your damage. It fires at roughly 164 rounds per minute, which also happens to make it the slowest firing medic weapon. As always, there has to be a trade-off here. There also happens to be a second trade-off, the ammo. With only 6 bullets in the magazine, it's relatively low compared to some of the more popular medic offerings. That being said, it's got a speedy reload thanks to the unique bottom loading design, so you can reload it fully pretty easily. Like I said earlier, this gun comes in 2 variants, factory and optical. The optical version comes with a lens sight to give you more accurate fire, but the factory version has more control with iron sights. Both variants have the same mag size, so really it's only a small question of preference. Moving on now to support, which has available the French machine gun, the Shosho. Again, 2 variants, low weight and telescopic. The main difference between the two being accuracy. The telescopic version will give you better accuracy over range, especially considering as it comes equipped with a sight, whereas the low weight version will regain accuracy faster due to its low weight. The telescopic will be a bit better for sitting back and picking off those long range enemies with your bipod. But what do the paper stats look like? Well, it's got a rate of fire of 360 and a small magazine size at only 20, which actually puts it on par with the BAR, but that has almost double the rate of fire at 600. So you may be thinking, well, surely the Shosho is no good then. And you'd be wrong. Don't let the stats fool you again. This thing is awesome and it works great for my personal playstyle. Think back to the Scar H in Battlefield 4. Slow firing but heavy damage and accurate, and you get a sense for how the Shosho feels. It fires slowly, but I think its damage makes up for that, and combined with its accuracy, it makes a very fun weapon to use. And last but not least, out of the main class weapons, we've got the new Scout offering, the Lebel model 1886. I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to say. Yep, this one has 2 available versions as well, the Sniper Variant and the Infantry Variant. The Sniper version of course comes equipped with a massive telescopic scope, whereas the infantry version will regain accuracy faster, just like the low weight Shosho. In terms of its bullet velocity, which is important to gauge the distance the sniper is most useful at, it sits between the SMLE and the Gewehr M95. The SMLE is at 740 meters a second and the Lebel at 720, and the Gewehr M95 sits at 640. The other important stat of course is the sweet spot. What range is this sniper designed for best use? Well, just above the SMLE, 50 meters up to just shy of 90, and that's the kind of range that the weapon is designed for. But oddly, it doesn't come in a Marksman variant like the SMLE does. I find that a bit odd and disappointing because I love using the Marksman variants on my Scout class, as I think they offer a bit more maneuverability and they don't have scope glint, but that won't be available with the Lebel sadly. It is a nice rifle though, but there is the other problem. The reload time is a bit longer than some of the other snipers. This is because each round has to be loaded individually via the top receiver. Many of the other rifles and medic weapons, for example, allow you to reload a 5-bullet clip, but the Lebel does not. As well as that, the last bullet requires a double lock-in, so you've got to bolt twice to finalise the reload. And I'm guessing this is kind of like an attention to detail, because the real life version has a cartridge lifter that holds an extra round. This means that even though it's got 8 bullets in the magazine, which is great, the reload time can be a bit lengthy if you need to reload the entire weapon. One other thing that it does have going for it though is the sound. It sounds really bassy and crunchy, just very cool. Does it beat the SMLE or M95 infantry for me? I'm going to say no. I can't see it replacing those as my favourite rifles in the Scout class with its current stats. But there is one thing that I need to point out as well about this entire video. All of these weapons and their stats are from the CTE version of the game, so there's always a possibility that some of these stats could change on the final release. But for the most part, I think this is what we're going to see. I don't imagine there'll be any big sweeping changes here, if any. Now that's all for today on the BF1 weapon front. If you've played the CTE and used any of the new DLC weapons, which ones are your favourites? Wrapping things up, I had a fair few people ask me if I bought a Nintendo Switch and am I going to cover any of the games on YouTube. Well, I did buy a Switch and I got Zelda with it, of course. That's the only reason to buy a Nintendo Switch at the moment, if you ask me. I started recording a video on it, the first 60 minutes, and then I played for a couple hours after, and I thought that it was ace. It's a really good game. However, it's not the kind of game that I would cover on my YouTube channel, and it's the kind of game that I think you don't really want to have spoiled, and it's just way more fun playing it than than watching it. So I won't be doing a walkthrough on YouTube. However, at some point in the future I may live stream over on my Twitch channel, which could be quite fun, and you can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/jackfrags if you want to follow along. So that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, do give me a thumbs up. Remember to leave a comment down below if you want to enter the giveaway to win the Xbox One S Battlefield 1 bundle. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.